Greetings, River Lady here with my smooth hydrangea, Invincibelle Spirit II. Now I know she doesn't look like much. Truthfully, she hasn't looked that great in a long time. Right now it's early July. Let's get into the video I shot in June, and then I'll be back with an update to explain what really happened. Okay, let's go. So let's talk about my Invincibelle Spirit II. This is the second Invincibelle Spirit smooth hydrangea that I've owned. The first Invincibelle Spirit died from root rot. Proven winners came out with the series Invincibelle Spirit II, of which this is one, and they still did not fix the root rot problem. Now, I'm not saying this plant has root rot, but it looks like it does. I purchased this second one 5 years. I'd have to check the actual date. And now my plant is dying. I'm having trouble with leaf rollers. I've sprayed the plant with insecticide. I use garden-safe insecticide, and I don't treat all my plants. I treat them on a case-by-case basis. So I took off the leaf rollers, treated the plant, and now the plant is slowly dying. It's not the soil. This soil is amended with compost, and this soil has good drainage, so I know that's not a problem. One thing I did do is I tested my soil, and my soil is within this range of acceptable pH. The plant gets morning sunlight, and then in the afternoon it is in dappled shade. I've gone to see a woman at my local nursery who gave me some advice. She sold me a systemic treatment for the plant. This is the product that I used, not a paid endorsement. It didn't do anything, and now the plant is getting worse. Went back to the garden center. She said, well, it looks like your plant has root rot. Now, I'm not sure how the plant could have gotten root rot, because I am very mindful of watering this plant, because I know that it's susceptible to root rot. But the poor little thing every day looks worse and worse. So I have 3 options. I can dig the plant up, bless it and toss it. I can cut the plant back and hope that it rejuvenates and sends up new growth, or I can dig it up, check the roots, pull off any mushy roots if it does have root rot, treat the remaining good roots with a fungicide, and then plant it in a new location. So I'm going to dig it up, and I'm going to check the roots. If the roots are spongy and have turgor pressure, then I know it's not root rot. If the roots are squishy and mushy, then it's definitely root rot. I can't cut it back and dig it up, because those 2 things happening at the same time will stress the plant. I need to make a decision. I'm going to dig it up, check to see if I do have root rot. I'll be back. I stopped digging. I used my pitchforks to not damage any of the roots, and the roots look awesome. They're not squishy. Let me take you in and show you. So the roots are nice and firm. They're not squishy. That was my pitchfork. So you can see the roots are nice and firm, not squishy. So I really hesitate disturbing the plant, but something is making it very unhappy, and I don't know why. There's a root there. It's firm. What is wrong with you, baby? Okay, I am going to mix compost in with some of the loose soil, put that around the plant, and then put a layer of mulch to help retain moisture. Okay, let me go get my compost. Those of you who follow my channel know that I use mushroom compost. So let's go ahead and sprinkle this around the plant. Maybe just turning up the soil a little, adding the compost will do the trick. I'm not going to cut it back today. Let's give it a couple of days. If it looks worse, then I'll cut it back. And if I lose it, move on. Okay, that's it for me. Bye. I'm back with the updated ending to this video. It turns out my hydrangea, Invincibelle Spirit II, had bacterial wilt. And that is a result of the bacterium that I'm not even going to try to pronounce. I'll just flash it here on the screen. Brings me back to the nightmares of my microbiology days. Anyway, the bacterium lives in the soil and also can be delivered by a variety of species of beetles. If you're a vegetable gardener, you've probably been exposed to bacterial wilt. Farmers know it only too well. It can wipe out a crop of cucumbers or squash, watermelon. Geraniums are susceptible to it. Smooth hydrangeas, macrophylla hydrangeas, oak leaf hydrangeas. Bacterial wilt is very, very common. And the sad thing is that once it starts showing up in the plant is usually had it. There's really no way to save it because there's no way to treat bacterial wilt. However, the gentleman that I talked to at a nursery many towns over, I ended up bringing one of the stems, and he suggested that I remove all the diseased stems. He's the one who turned me on to the fact that it might be bacterial wilt. And then I did a little research and found out that bacterial wilt is a common problem with the Invincibelle Spirit line of smooth hydrangeas. And I'll put a link to that information. But he suggested I cut off all the damaged stems, put some fresh soil around the plant. I went ahead and I added fresh soil. I added more fresh compost. I cut things off and I just left it. And I am thrilled to say, look, looky, looky, looky. My plant is sending up new growth. How cool is that? All right, so that's it for me, and I'll leave you with a picture of what my Invincibelle Spirit II looked like in 2021. She was a beauty. So I thank you for watching. Leave any comments down below, especially if you've had a run-in with bacterial wilt, and happy gardening. Bye.